Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite classical guitar pieces. It's a piece that I learned at a very young age and I continue to teach and perform to this day. It is Lagrima by Francisco Tárrega. Oftentimes when people think of classical guitar, they think of Spanish guitar, and Tárrega is quintessentially Spanish guitar. This piece is very beautiful and I think you'll really enjoy learning it. Now, before we get started, I have one little general rule for this piece. For most of it, we are going to assign our right hand fingers to specific strings. So, your ring finger is going to be assigned to the high E string. Your middle finger is going to be assigned to the B string. Your index finger is going to be assigned to the G string, and your thumb is going to be roaming. There are a couple times in this piece that we will break that, and when we do, I will let you know. But this really works for the whole piece. It's also going to help us organize the piece in our right hand. This lesson is going to be focused a little bit more on the left hand because the left hand's a little bit busier. If we stick to my general rule in the right hand, I think we'll have a pretty easy time going through the piece. So, let's get started. Let's start with the A section. The first thing we're going to do is take our index finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the D string. The pinky is going to be on the 4th fret of the E string, and we're going to pluck those two notes together. We're going to use our middle finger in our right hand to play the open B. The next thing we're going to do is take our pinky and slide up to the 5th fret of the E string, and we're going to use our middle finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and we're going to play those two notes together. Again, in the right hand, the middle finger is going to be used to play the open B. We're going to take this exact same shape in our left hand and slide it up 2 frets to 7th fret on the E string, 6th fret on the D string, pluck those together. Another open B, and we're going to use our pinky and slide all the way down to the 2nd fret of the E string. We're going to use our index finger on the 1st fret of the D string to give us a D sharp, and what we're going to do is form the outline of a B7 chord in our left hand. This entire measure is the outline of a B7 chord. We play 1 and 2 at the same time, open B, A, 2nd fret, G string with our 3rd finger, or our ring finger, open B, low B with our thumb, open B with our middle finger. So you can see it's based right on this chord right here. So those first two measures go like this. The next two measures are exactly the same, so we just repeat exactly what we did. Jumping to the 5th measure, we're going to use our pinky and get all the way up to the 12th fret of the high E string. We're going to form a bar over the D string, G string, B string, and E string with our index finger. Sometimes I kind of curl my hand a little bit like this so I don't have to come out. And we're going to use our ring finger on the 11th fret of the D string, giving us a C sharp. We pluck 11 and 12 together on the D string and the E string. And then we use our index finger to play the 9th fret on the G string, and this should be taken care of with our bar. So one more time. Now what we're going to do here is shift the pinky down to the 11th fret, and we're going to keep the bar and lift our ring finger. So we have 9 and 11, and then 9th fret again on the 3rd string. We're going to slide that whole shape down, 7th fret and 9th fret, and then middle finger, 7th fret of the B string. Now here we're going to lift our pinky, giving us, we still have a bar on the 7th fret. We're going to use our ring finger to play the 9th fret of the D string. We're going to play 9 and 7 together and use our pinky to play 9 on the B string. We're going to slide our ring finger up to 11. We're going to form this little shape here. Ring finger 11, pinky 11, middle finger 10. We're going to play 11 with our thumb on the D string, open E, 11 on the G string, 10 on the B string. Now we're going to use our middle finger and slide down to the 9, and this is where we're going to break our little pattern here. So we're going to use our index finger to play 9 on the D string. We're going to pluck these two together, so 9 and 9. And here, I just plucked it with thumb and middle, but what you'll actually want to do is pluck it with thumb and index finger. The reason for that, so we don't get any repeated notes. So thumb and index in our right hand, open E, and we move all the way down. What we're going to do is bar the 2nd fret. We're going to use our middle finger on the A sharp, which is the 3rd fret of the G string. We're going to play 3 and 2 together on the G string and the B string. F sharp on the 2nd fret of the E string, and then a low B on the 2nd fret of the A string with our thumb in the right hand. And we're going to use our pinky and play the D sharp and the A. And then finally we get some relief and we form the outlines of a little E chord. We can use just our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string and our index finger on the 1st fret of the G string and our ring finger up on the high E, giving us these 3 notes. And we play them all at the same time. And then use our thumb to hit the low E. And that's at the end of the A section. So now let's move on to the B section. The B section is a little bit different. It's in minor rather than major. So our first chord is not an E major chord, it's an E minor chord. And we're going to break my little right hand rule a couple times in this section. The first thing we're going to do is place our thumb in the right hand on our low E string. And in the left hand, we're going to use our ring finger and play the 3rd fret of the E string. And then the 3 notes we're going to play together are open E, open B, and G, 3rd fret E string. Now what you do here in the right hand is up to you. Whenever you have a single line on the guitar, it's more important that you alternate rather than do any specific pattern. So whenever you have one line on one string like this, you're just going to alternate between these fingers. So you'll pluck the E minor chord at once, and then you'll use your ring finger and slide all the way up to the 8th fret on the E string. This is giving us a glissando. You'll strike 8, play 7 with your middle finger, and then open E, and now we're down to a B7 chord. We're not going to form a full B7 chord. We're going to lay the bar down on the 2nd fret over 5 strings, giving us all of our 2s. And we're going to use our ring finger on the D sharp, and we're going to play A string, G string, B string, E string. Using our middle finger, we'll press the 3rd fret of the E string, and then we land on open E's. Now here we have a little descending run of thirds. So 2nd fret G, 1st fret B, open B, open G, 4 on D, 2 on G, 1 on 2nd fret D, open G, 4th fret D, 2nd fret G, and then open E, open G, open B. So that whole part goes like this. here we're going to go all the way up the neck again, up to the 12th fret with our pinky, and we're going to stretch all the way down to the 7th fret of the D string. Using our middle finger, we'll play the 8th fret of the E string. We'll use our ring finger, play the 9th fret of the A string, and use our pinky on the 10th fret of the B string. And then we'll form a bar with our index finger and put our middle finger down on the 8th fret of the G string, giving us another B chord. That part's a little bit tricky because we have a lot of stretching to do in our left hand. What you want to do is keep all of these fingers down as long as you can. So after you hit your little E minor chord, pinky first, stretch, 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 land on the B chord. Moving on, we're going to keep this shape. Use our ring finger to play the 9th fret of the D string, pinky on 10, and then lift to get ring finger on 9 again. Now we get a little bit of relief here. We get to go down to the first position. So open B, middle finger on 2nd fret E string, and then now we do a minor version of our opening run. Index finger on the 2nd fret D string, ring finger 3rd fret E string. Open B. We're going to keep that same shape, slide it up 2 frets. Now our index finger is going to shift up to 5, and we're going to use our pinky on 7, open B. And then pinky is going to shift up to 10 on the E string, and while we pluck the 10th fret, we're going to play an open A with our thumb. And here we go, 10, 8, 7, and then 10, 8, 7 on the B string. So that one more time. Now we're back down to the first position. Open E, open G, open B. 2nd fret E string with our pinky, and then index finger on 1st fret B string, ring finger on 2nd fret G string, and then middle finger on 2nd fret A string and an open B. Now here, 1st fret with our index finger, 2nd fret G string with our ring finger, and then we land on an E minor chord. That section is one big outline of another B7 chord, like we had earlier. We just have to lift a little bit to get our frets. That one note that's not in the B7 chord is a flat 9. It gives it a little flavor. And that's the end of the B section. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. I went through a lot of information very quickly, so don't be afraid to hit that pause button and work on some of those sections individually. This is a piece that could take weeks, months to learn, so don't be afraid to stop, slow down, take it one step at a time. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this was helpful. Thanks a lot. See you next time.